I would go to gym and work out for just a minute. Please. So, no, I know the best that we would like to subscribe to double break. Bill used to be 95 rupees a month for meals. For 15 rupees, we could get double breakfast. So, what was the breakfast? 2 glasses of milk. Not one, 2 glasses of milk. 2 eggs. 4 slices of white bread. 2 flakes of butter. Now, my roommate came from Allahabad. His father was High Court judge. They had 2 cows. So he brought a bottle of 1 kilo bottle of ghee. We would take it in our mess and say, please put it in our dal and roti. Then we had hired a milkman to come in the evening and deliver half a liter of milk. I would boil it in electric kettle and we both will have 250. 250, 250, 250. MS. Huh? Not volume. I don't know. Huh? Okay, it's working. Okay. We'll have a glass of milk. Sit down.
Mr. Patas. You use this, he's going to remove your copies.
Okay. And then we will add protein powder to the milk. This is what we ate. From what I know today, we did everything wrong. Everything wrong. By the time I was 30, I had developed second stage lymphoma. I went through surgery, I had radiation therapy, and I had chemotherapy for 18 months. I survived. At our home, we loved milk. I used to go 6 o'clock to the fellow with bhaisa and have him make sure there's no water. I'll be the first one to get milk. My mother developed breast cancer at the age of 55. She came to America, lived with us for a year. I put her through treatment, but she did not make it. The doctor said it has spread all over, take her back to India. She came, she died in 10 days. My father, in 1980, developed cancer of larynx, vocal cord. He decided against surgery. One Indian doctor in Florida did experimental treatment on him, very high dosage of radiation, and he survived, lived another 18 years. In 1967, India has the largest and the best institute called National Institute for Nutrition, NIN Hyderabad, our #1 institute. In 1967, Dr. Gopalan, whom we gave Padam Bhushan later on, he was the director of the institute. He did a study on mice. He created 2 groups of mice and 30-30. To both the groups, he injected aflatoxin, which is a carcinogen. It causes cancer. To one group, he fed a diet of 5% protein. To other group, he fed a diet of 20% protein. The protein was from cow's milk. It is called casein. Casein is the protein. Mice would love to eat cheese. What? They eat cheese. They found that the 20% group, they all developed cancer. And they all died. The 5% group did not develop cancer, did not die. He wrote it in a report that was published in a journal, Indian journal, in 1968. One American scientist, his name is Dr. Colin Campbell. He is 90 years old. He is today considered the #1 nutritionist in the world. He had done his PhD in 1959. His PhD thesis was, how critical is animal protein for human growth and development? That was his PhD thesis at Cornell. When he saw that article, he said, what nonsense. किसी ने मिस्टेक कर दी, यहाँ का डेटा इधर डाल दिया, इधर का डेटा इधर डाल दिया. 20% group must have survived, 5% group must have died. He called the editor कि आप लोग क्या करते हो, आप इसको retract कीजिए, आपने गलती करी. Editor got nervous. He went to Dr. Gopalan. He said, sir, ऐसे ऐसे Colin Campbell, Cornell के साइंटिस्ट हमारे कॉल आई थी कि आप लोगों ने तो ब्लेंडर कर दिए. तो Dr. Gopalan started laughing. He said, हमने वो ये लगा था कि गलती हो गई है. We have checked the data 10 times. This is correct. We expected 20% group to survive. We have learned all our life. You need more protein, more protein, more protein. But the fact is fact. We as a scientist have to write the fact. The editor went back and told it to Dr. Colin Campbell. Dr. Colin Campbell did not believe him still. He went back to Cornell, where he was a professor, and he replicated that study, identical study, and found it to be correct. Then he said, okay, 5% survived, 20% developed cancer and died. How about 6% survived? How about 7% survived? As soon as he went from 7 to 8%, cancer started. Cancer started. So his life's work from 1968 to today has been on cancer, animal protein. That's his work. He was invited to China because Chow Enlai, whom we don't like because he attacked India, okay, but apparently he was a good leader in his country. He was very health conscious. He developed cancer. When he developed cancer, how come I've got cancer? I have lived my life so well. Why did I get cancer? He commissioned a study which is known as China study. You can Google it, you'll get a lot of work on it. And for China study, he invited Dr. Colin Campbell, one scientist from America, Dr. Colin Campbell, one from England. Okay. And that study shows a lot of correlations. My point is that we have known for over 57 years in India. It was the research done in India. Now, nobody knows Dr. Gopalan. His name has come down to a footnote. Credit goes to Dr. Colin Campbell. Whenever he gives a talk, he does mention Dr. Gopalan's name. But others have forgotten that name. That's the problem with India. We do the original work. Others copy it. We don't take credit for it. We don't take credit for it. There's a spiritual reason. Ego should be dissolved. We believe that ego should be dissolved, should be annihilated, not built up. So that has been part of culture. One of our original research is being called research by Greek philosophers. I thought there is theorem, Hippocrates, all this. Anyway, that's a different subject. So my point here is, if your information is wrong, your actions are likely to be wrong. Agreed? Okay. Now the question comes up, how do you get information? The first thing you do, you go to Google. You go to Google? Okay. Has anybody in this room put any information on Google? No. I have never put any information. So who puts it in? Somebody puts it in. So somebody who puts it in must have some vested interest. Would you say so? He wants you to believe a certain way. Would you say so? That's why he's putting in. The food industry in the world means meat, dairy, poultry, fisheries. That's meat, that's food. They call that food. They don't call bhindi and palak food. It's only India as an exception. So food industry in the world is very concerned that if you learn the truth, you may stop eating that food. In animal food, there is no carbohydrate. It's either protein or fat. one minor exception. In milk, there's some lactose. That's the only exception. Okay. So they want you to believe that carbs are no good. Don't worry about carbs. Don't eat carbs. Eat protein. You need protein. You need protein. You see the ad? Oh, Nestle, my protein bar has 15 grams of protein. Now somebody says, no, ours has 16 grams of protein. Somebody says, no, ours has 17. They all want you to believe that you need to eat more protein. Would you agree? And they want you to believe protein is not easy. You have to look for it. It's very hard. You have to find it. Oh, find milk, dairy, yogurt, eggs. In America, there is a called My Plate. My Plate. They show a plate. It's a guideline what to eat. They take a plate and they divide it into 4 sections. One section says fruits and vegetables. Second section says grains. And third section says beans and legumes and nuts and seeds. The fourth section they leave empty. They say my protein, my choice of protein. And then they have a little round circle after the plate like this. You can Google it. It will show you my plate. If you write my plate, it'll come. That means they say 3 glasses of milk. That is what they show. This is US government guideline. Okay, government wants you to believe that. Now the thing is, fruits have protein. Guava is 14% protein. Vegetables have protein. Every vegetable has protein. Spinach, 30% protein. Watermelon, 8%. And all grains have protein. All legumes have protein. Now, why do you need a special column? They want to fool you. They think that's where you should put egg or chicken or lamb or beef or something. They have 3 glasses of milk. Milk has protein. Everything on that plate has protein. But they want you to believe this is where protein should go. Nonsense. This is government of US. Government of US is in bed with the food industry. When you talk to bureaucrats who are in the government in America, you're all bureaucrats. They know that at the age of 65, I'm going to retire. 65 is too early. I have another 10, 15 years of productive life. Who will hire me? The food industry will hire me. They want to be nice to food industry. This is what goes on. Okay. So the question is how to get the correct information. I have a slide here. Are you able to show my first slides? So I'm going to discuss some misunderstandings. So protein is one I have already shared with you. The second misunderstanding is you need dairy for calcium. अगर dairy नहीं होगा तो calcium कहाँ से आएगा? People think. Agree, dairy has calcium. But the question is, does your body absorb that calcium? Dairy has phosphorus. Okay, in the presence of high phosphorus, calcium cannot be absorbed in human body. Okay, biphosphate, triphosphate. People who consume dairy, the largest consumers of dairy, the US, the Canada, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, have the highest hip fracture rate. Because dairy causes acidosis. The acidosis in your body then calls for calcium. It bleaches calcium from your bones to neutralize it. And your bones become weak. So dairy makes your bones weak. But they don't want to talk about it. Okay. So you see, I've just pointed out 2 misconceptions that you have, which are being propagated by vested interest. Okay. The thing to understand is that your body needs very little protein. The question comes up, how much protein do we need? Okay, so when you're thinking of how much protein do you need, let's talk about when do you need maximum protein. When you're born. When a child is born, he is going to be growing to a double his weight 6 months. 4 किलो का बेबी 8 किलो का हो जाएगा 6 महीने. So your growth is maximum. And who has designed the food for this child? The nature. Mother's milk is the food for this child. So mother's food must have the perfect amount of protein. Wouldn't you say so? So you can say nature, or if you prefer, you can say God has designed. Up to you. जैसी आपकी श्रद्धा हो. Mother's milk has only 5 to 6% protein. Only 5 to 6%. I'm not saying by weight, I'm saying by calories. If a child consumes 100 calories, 5 to 6 calories come from protein. That's all. So why should anybody grown up would need even that much? If a child who is growing at the fastest rate needs 5 to 6%. US government had established in 1947 by extensive research that the ideal or the minimum protein requirement for human being is 5 to 6%. They had said that. But they were so concerned about some extreme people who are maybe iron workers or construction workers who are working very hard that they may need little more. So your protein requirement, if you draw on a curve, it's a bell curve. Some people need only little, 3%, some 4%, goes up like that, comes back. So they said, let's cover 98% of the population. The 98th percentile of population they wanted to cover, and that was 8% by calorie. 8% protein by calorie. Dr. Colin Campbell's research said 8%, beyond which the cancer started. Now, if you are 8%, and they came up with the recommendation 0.8 gram per kilogram of weight. That is the recommendation from US government. Okay. Recommended daily allowance, RDA. That allowance is for the 98th percentile, which means if you consume that much, 97% people are consuming too much. What you say, sir? Huh? So what have you done? I don't know.
No, just talk to person.
How do you take it up? Amal,
Put up this.
I don't know what. You should do that, guys. Okay. You go to slide number 2 or something, huh? Or the top slide. All right. So the point is, you need very little protein. We have been misguided. Yeah, go back to slide 1 on top. Okay. We have been misguided that you need a lot of protein. Okay, just leave it there. Thank you. And I will tell you that just today in the news, because I posted it, and University of Pittsburgh did a study. And University of Pittsburgh study, I just posted that, I showed it to him. They showed that if you consume too much protein, they took a group and fed them 22% protein. And they developed heart disease. What is heart disease? Heart disease is development of plaque in your blood vessels. It's called atherosclerosis. When you have nice clean blood vessels and plaque begins to develop, the opening becomes smaller. The blood pressure goes up. When that opening sometimes cracks open, the heart attack happens or the stroke happens. So the problem is atherosclerosis. Leading cause of atherosclerosis is animal protein consumption. Clearly, today's study have shown, okay, this release. So anyway, I'll come back to the main presentation. My slides are missing here and we'll quickly go through it. What you see in this picture is the two people come back from vacation. They find that their kitchen is flooded. Because when they left, the sink was not fully drained. There was some fat which froze because you had turned the heat off. In winter weather, normally people come from America to India during Christmas time, December, January. They turn the heat off, call the cab, left. The faucet was not closed. So some water was still dripping down, and the drainage got clogged because the temperature dropped. Okay. So it was overflowing. The sink is overflowing. They go back after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, find the kitchen is flooded. The first response is they go to the broom closet, take out the broom and mop the floor. हमारा टीक का फ्लोर नुकसान हो जाएगा, 2.5 लाख खर्च किए थे. अरे बोले नल तो बंद कर दो. नहीं, wouldn't that make sense? कि आप नल पहले बंद कर दें, उसके बाद फ्लोर मॉप कीजिए. That is what is happening in our life today. Our blood pressure is overflowing. Our blood sugar is overflowing. Our blood cholesterol is overflowing. And what do? We are busy mopping it. We have not turned the faucet on. You see, your blood pressure is a sign, it's a marker. Your body is saying, hey, change your life a little bit. You're not doing right. It's nudging you. Your cholesterol goes up, body is nudging you. Something is not right about your diet and lifestyle. And what do? Bring it down. Let us say today somebody found in Pulwama yesterday कि पाकिस्तान ने 20,000 टैंक इकट्ठा कर लिए हैं 2 दिन के अंदर. वो बेचारा मोटरसाइकिल लेके दौड़ के प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिस आता है, कहता है कि सर मैंने अभी देखा मेरा घर बिल्कुल बॉर्डर पे है, पुलवामा में 20,000 टैंक परसों तक एक भी नहीं इकट्ठा हो गए. और उनको मैसेज अच्छा मार उसको गोली, ऐसे की तैसी गोली खबर लेके आया. Don't kill the messenger. We are busy with killing the messenger and not turning off the faucet. That is what is going on. People come to me and they say, Lalit, how can I reduce my LDL? Everything else is fine in my life. How do I reduce my LDL? I remember imagine somebody else, let's say this gentleman here comes and tells his electrical engineer, बाकी सब तो जिंदगी में ठीक है, बिजली का बिल बहुत ज्यादा, 45,000 हर महीने का बिल जाता, मेरे को ऐसा सुराग बताओ कि मेरा बिल कम हो जाए. This gentleman saying मेरा LDL कम हो जाए, ये कह रहे मेरा इलेक्ट्रिक बिल हो जाए. अब मैं इनसे कहूं कि वो जामा मस्जिद के पास ना नुक्कड़ में एक मौलाना है, वो एक मैग्नेट बेचता है 9,000 रुपए का, उसको लाके चुपके से रात को ना अपने मीटर के ऊपर रख देना, तुम्हारा बिल 45 से कम होके 8,000 हो जाएगा. And he does that. Is that a solution? What is a solution? Change your bulbs from incandescent to LED. Put a motion sensor in your room so when you leave the room, the light goes off. Throw away that 40-year-old refrigerator, get a new refrigerator. Put some solar cells. These are the solutions. That is what is happening in our society. Okay. Now the thing is, the medical education got changed 90, 100 years ago. 100 years ago, there used to be Hakim, Vad, naturopath. When you went to see him, he looked at your eyes, he looked at your pulse, he said कि morning में जब bathroom गए थे तो कैसा था, texture कैसा था, पेशाब करते क्या? Asked you 20 questions. And one suggested something. What you do today when you go to a doctor, he does not even look at you. He has got your report. All your markers within the range. Oh, this is outside range. तुम्हारा iron कम है, iron ले लेना. अच्छा, magnesium भी कम है, मैं supplement ले लिया करो. Vitamin C, B12, vitamin B12 come. That's what they do. They want you to be in the normal range. You don't have to be in the normal range. If your sun is brighter and proper in the class, the normal range is 95 percentile. If the 100 students in your class, the bottom 2.5, let's say bottom 3 and upper 3, outside normal. Now you want to tell your top student, नहीं, बहुत खराब है, नीचे आ जाए. Let us say Jaya Bhadri and Amitabh Bachchan go see a doctor. And Amitabh Bachchan जिस डॉक्टर को देखा, मेल डॉक्टर, he says, सर आपकी हाइट जो है आउटसाइड नॉर्मल है. नॉर्मल इंडिया में 5'1" to 5'11" होता है, आपकी 6'3" है, 4 इंच काटना पड़ेगा आपका पैर. और जया भाभी वहां से लेडी डॉक्टर कहती है आपकी हाइट भी अब नॉर्मली लो है. लेडीज की हाइट 5 फीट से 5'10" होती है, आपकी तो 4'9" है, 3-4 इंच आपके बट्टी जोड़नी पड़ेगी. ऐसा करते हैं अमिताभ जी की काट के आपके में लगा देते हैं. Is that a solution? No. You have a doctor, B.M. Hegde, Padam Vibhushan. In South, it is his example. It's not mine. I have learned from these teachers. He gives this example. We are so obsessed with normal. Normal is on a curve, on a bell curve, 2 sigma variation that gives you normal. That's all. So the point is that we need to change our thinking. Okay. I'm only giving you some tips as to what needs to be done. I conduct a course, which is 60-day course. I start on 1st of every month. It's a free course. 6,000 people join me every month. I have conducted that course to over 200,000 people. Over 500 courses have been done. And these people are living in 50 different countries. I have suggested that we create a course, and we have created a group, WhatsApp group, and you would learn from that. But I'll discuss a few other things today. Let's go. Here, what I call introduction and common myths. So, first common myth, of course, why not turn off the faucet? Second is take a pill when ill. 100 years ago, we invented penicillin. 100 years ago, our problems were infectious diseases. And penicillin worked very well. It worked like a champ. It worked so well, within a generation, we have developed this thinking. When ill, just take a pill. So a person comes to the doctor, a farmer, he just wants कि मेरे को दवाई दे दो. हमारी थिंकिंग ही गलत हो गई है. अगर डॉक्टर ये कह रहे कि नहीं तुम सवेरे थोड़ा वॉक किया करो और पालक ज्यादा खाया करो और जाओ कहेगा 1,000 रुपए भी ले लिए और दवाई भी नहीं दी. It is not doctor's fault. The patients are expecting that. Okay. So what happened after Second World War? This thing did not work because our problems changed. Our problem became problems of affluence. Because in the Western country, they said people have suffered a depression for 30 years and 2 world wars. They have suffered. Give them plenty of milk and malai and makhan and meat and anda. It was so inexpensive in the Western world. Okay. I went to America in 73. For 2 hours of work at minimum wages, I could earn enough money to buy a whole week's groceries. Okay. $8 में 5 bread मिलती. Food was not an expense. And people started eating. They started eating more and more and more. And diseases started. These were different diseases. That pill did not work. This time the pill did not work. So the doctors came up. Doctors meaning the farmer, people who are teaching the doctors. It's not doctors' fault. Doctors, people don't teach doctors nutrition. Modern medicine started in 1910 when Rockefeller and Carnegie, 2 of the richest men in the world, told their friends in the Congress and Senate that we need to formalize the health system. At that time, there were all kinds of some 6-month course, 1-year course, 2-year course, 4-year course, naturopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, hydrotherapy, gem therapy, all was there. They closed 80% of medical colleges. They say it has to be 4-year course, and after 4 years, a comprehensive exam. 4-year course after finishing college, not like in India, where after 12th you do 4 years. In America, you finish your college, 16th grade, then 4 years of medical college, then 2 years of internship. Okay, you got to be 29, 30 before you can practice. They made it very restrictive. But in their course, they did not include a single course in nutrition. Not a single course. Okay. Even now, there's not a single course. 1 lecture, 1.5 hours. That's all they do. And the doctors I follow, which are plant-based doctors, the teaching I'm giving here, they've been asking government, please introduce 1 course at least. They go through the chore of evaluating, they say, we looked at it, it is not necessary. Now, why don't they teach them? I'll tell you why they don't do it. Medical students are the brightest of the bright. The best students become doctors. We used to kid in India that no, best student become engineer, second best become doctor. 50 years ago when IITs were there. But then in America, it has never been disputed. Brightest of the bright become doctor. And one thing about bright, intelligent
This
all
meeting is
medical
being
colleges in
recorded and
America today,
summarized.
with the exception of two, are governed by pharmaceutical and food industry. I want you to know that. They don't want doctors to know what I'm talking about here. It's not doctors' fault. They're taught for 4 years, they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed that these are incurable diseases. You must have medicine the rest of your life. 48 age, you go, doctor says you have high blood pressure. I went for the first time, high blood pressure. I said, he gave me medicine. I said, okay, how many days should I take it? Till that time. Every medication was 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, maybe 10 days. That was it. I asked him, कितने दिन लेनी है? हंसने लगा. He said, ललित ये वो मेडिसिन नहीं है जो अब तक तुमको हम दे रहे थे. Now this you will have to take rest of your life. That's the medicine they like, the pharma industry. They tell you, first of all, they tell you it is all your fault. You're eating too much and not exercising enough. Have you heard that? Doctor telling you, the patient, you're eating too much and not exercising enough. You all have heard that. The question is, why am I eating too much? Am I suicidal? I'm a college graduate. I have studied. Everybody in this room and the people who are listening, they are highly educated people. Why would they be suicidal? Why would they eat too much? They say gluttony and sloth. You're eating too much and not exercising enough. You look in the nature, all animals in the wilderness, they eat as much as they feel like and then they stop. They're not obese. They're not suffering from diseases. There's no dietitian telling them, a deer, Monday through Friday, eat this green grass. Saturdays only for half a day, this yellow one. And Sunday for 2 hours, this brown one. No. It's self-selection. You are able to self-select what you feel like eating. So how have we gone wrong? The problem is the food. The food you are eating is designed for overconsumption. You see, you open a box of Pringle chips. It's designed by PhDs in psychology who know how to circumvent your satiation mechanism. You just open a Pringle chip and put one in your mouth. Chips take over. You cannot stop now. You keep eating second, third, fourth. You'll eat 100. They take pride in it. Their ad line used to say, you just can't have only one. That was the ad campaign. The problem is the chips you're eating. The chips are designed by somebody for overconsumption. How do they make profit? They want you to overconsume. So the food is the problem. Okay. Now, have you ever, let's say you make bagan, okay, slices of, keep eating bagan, 100 slices bagan? No, after you eat 5-6 slices, you say, body, what ho gaya, kuch aur. You're eating bhindi. You eat bhindi, thoda sa khaoge, 1 chamach, 2 chamach, 8-10 chamach, body says enough. Your body tells you when to stop. But the food we are eating, Haldiram, that namkeen he makes, Bikaner wala, perfect amount of sugar and salt and neebu and everything. And you eat it. You want to eat more. You want to eat. You can finish the whole box. So number one thing to understand is food is the problem. Food as it was earlier, as it grew up in the natural form, you will never overeat. Only food when it is refined, highly processed, you will eat. So the first lesson I teach is eat food in natural form. Eat मूंगफली, not मूंगफली का तेल. Eat गेहूं और आटा गेहूं का, not मैदा. Eat ganna, not shakkar. You're understanding? That's why we call it plant-based whole food. I just showed you that milk study. The animal protein is the problem. When they went to 8%, problem came. First rule is don't eat any animal food. Second, in plant food also, because eating Coca-Cola, eating potato chips and drinking Coca-Cola is a vegan diet, isn't it? It's a vegan diet. Doesn't mean it is good. The mortality data shows that non-vegetarians, vegetarians, and vegans, they all die at the same rate. The mortality data is same. Okay. So just because you have become vegetarian doesn't mean you become. The food should be consumed in the whole form. So to give one example, bhutta is good for you. भुट्टे के आपके कर्नल काट के कॉर्न सूप बनाया, गुड फॉर यू. आपने मक्के की रोटी बना के खा ली, फाइन. आपने भुट्टे को पॉपकॉर्न बना लिया, इवन दैट इज ओके. कुछ निकाला तो नहीं ना उसके अंदर, ना कुछ ऐड किया, खाली सॉल्ट ऐड किया. लेकिन corn oil is not good. Corn oil is not good. You took something out. The fiber in which the oil was embedded, you have taken it out. High fructose corn syrup. You have changed the nature. Because corn syrup is not sweet. Corn syrup is rich in glucose, not fructose. They change the chemical, make it richer in fructose. Fructose is what gives you mithai, meethapan. Don't take that. And everything you buy in the market today, which has sweetness, has high fructose corn syrup. Now, what happened is, so I will skip some of the things. We have limited amount of time, but let's talk about one item here. Okay, so not coming. Oh, so you know, you have heard people tell you, senior people, mature people. You all are senior, but आपसे भी senior लोग होंगे ना, आपके भी father होंगे घर में. But I have learned one thing: eat everything in moderation. Have you heard people say that? Eat everything in moderation, you will be fine. You all have heard that. Totally wrong. Because when you eat everything in moderation, you get disease in moderation. Simple as that. When you eat everything in moderation, you get disease in moderation. And as a result, we as a society have come to believe कि बुढ़ापे में तो बीमारी होगी, लाजमी है. बुढ़ापे में नहीं होगी तो क्या जवानी में होगी? बुढ़ापा हो गया, 60 के हो गए, कुछ तो थोड़ा सा गठिए का दर्द, थोड़ा सा ब्लड प्रेशर ज्यादा, थोड़ा सा कोलेस्ट्रॉल ज्यादा, ये तो होना ही है. We have all come to accept it. But it was proven wrong 24 years ago. What happened 24 years ago when it was proven wrong? Who proved it wrong? National Geographic magazine conducted a study. They hired a team, they told the team to travel all over the world and find those communities which lived long life disease-free. It's called the Blue Zone Project. Those 5 communities are called Blue Zone. Okinawa, Japan. Icaria, Greece. Okay. Loma Linda, California. They found that in these communities, people live normally. 95, 100, 105 normal. Until they die, they don't suffer from any disease. They don't have blood pressure. They don't have cholesterol problem. They don't even have doctors in the communities where they live. See, human body was designed to live healthy till they die. You are going to die. Some part is going to fail. Okay, kidney is going to fail, or liver, or heart. Something is going to fail. But till it fails, you should be living healthy. You should not be. Okay. So that is what. All right. Another thing is, people have myths. I'm telling about myths. So I want to tell you that the vice chairman of Times of India invited me to his house last October, and he asked me to write a blog for Times of India. I write a blog. It comes on every Sunday. If you would go to your phone and you will type Times of India blog Lalit Kapoor, you will be able to access 37 blogs have been printed. Okay, so it's been 6 months or 8 months now, 9 months. And you can read them. So some of the things that I'm talking, you will get to see it. Times of India, blog, Lalit Kapoor. Okay. So another thing we believe, a myth, I'm talking some of the myths, that for different diseases, you must eat different food. This is a big myth. Oh, to prevent heart attack, you must eat this. To prevent diabetes, no, you must eat this. Huh? And to prevent asthma, you should eat this. Now you figure out what are you going to eat. Should I prevent heart attack or should I prevent diabetes? Or should I prevent cancer? How will you decide? Tell me. How will you decide? No. Heart attack, you die quickly. It's not painful. Cancer, long time. Let's just have heart attack. No, nonsense. It's a nonsense. It's illogical. And the most asked question from me, oh, sir, I have this. What should I eat? Absolutely wrong question. When body heals, everything heals. When the food is right, body heals. When it heals, everything heals. It cannot happen that one thing healed and other thing didn't heal. It's very important to understand. The thing to understand is, okay, I'll come to another point. We believe, the science believes that we are very similar. The humans are very similar. It is our belief, has been our belief. So when we do a study, we take 100 people as a sample here and give them this medicine, 100 people, and we give them a placebo. So this is, we are given an active agent. To this group, we have given placebo. And we are telling both of them, we are giving you medicine. In this group, out of 100, 40 get healed. They got healed because of placebo effect. In this, out of 100, 60 got healed. So they say 60 versus 40. It is statistically significant. So this medicine is good. That's how we get medicines approved. Now, how about other 40 that did not heal? And these 40 who healed anyway without the medicine. Because once the medicine is approved, the doctors will prescribe that medicine to all 100 people, not just 40 or 60. You're getting my point? So they assume that we are similar. That is an incorrect assumption. It's an incorrect assumption we learned about 25 years ago. Okay, what happened? We did a project called Human Genome Project, 1990. Human Genome Project, funded by all the richest countries in the world. US gave $3 billion. Japan, China, Germany, UK, and France, 6 economies. They were the largest at that time. They funded this project. They wanted to map human genes. And they were hoping that once we have your genetic map, we will be able to forecast. 62, you're going to develop diabetes. 71, you're going to have a heart attack. We'll be able to tell you. Like you have a Janam Patri. In Janam Patri, we look at it and we can tell you, you're going to get married at 31, you're going to go abroad and all that. They forecast your life. So they were hoping to create a gene Patri, a Patri of your genes. And then they said, you'll be able to forecast it. 1990 project started. Results started coming by 1997. When the results came, they were surprised. So they had certain expectation कि इतने genes आएंगे. But the number of genes that were showing up were many, many more. Not how much more? Not 2 times or 3 times. 100 times more genes were showing up. So they were perplexed. What is going on? And they found out that our body is a host to many microbes which don't belong to our body. They live in our colon. Most of them live in our colon. Okay. They live in the lining of our colon. And we call it microbiota. Okay. So human genome is your genes, and your epigenome is the gene of those tiny microbes in your body. They are your workers. See, when you have a large company, let's say Caterpillar. Caterpillar is busy making big machines. Caterpillar needs a lot of small things also, screws and nuts and glass and leather for the seat. They don't make them. It's too trivial for them. They have subcontractors who make these things for them. They make the big thing. Human being is the most evolved of all mammals. Human body says, I don't want to worry about making these nuts and bolts. So it has subcontractors. These 38 trillion microbes are your subcontractor. They're making things that your body needs. They're making vitamin B12. They're making short and small chain, medium chain fatty acids. More than half of the chemicals your body needs are made by these microbiome that lives in your colon. This was published on the cover of Time magazine. You're seeing it here. Why your DNA isn't your destiny. I don't know if I can make it clear. Yeah, okay. Why your DNA isn't your destiny. Printed in 2010, January issue. Okay. The new science of epigenetics reveals how the choices you make can change your genes. This is the new science. See, to give example, I say you all have a telephone. Okay. All the telephones are about 99% common. All the
This meeting is
Both
being
are doing
recorded
गेहूं
and
but मैदा
summarized.
की कचौड़ी, refined, गेहूं की skin नहीं है. And then he had, kachori was fried in peanut oil. So he had peanut and he had apple juice. Lots of apple juice. They both ate 700 calories. Both ate only three things: गेहूं, मूंगफली, एप्पल. इन्होंने होल फॉर्म में खाया, इन्होंने रिफाइंड फॉर्म में खाया. इतनी फर्क है. That's only difference. Whole form, all three things in whole form, all three things refined form. The food got digested in, bring this slide, this one. Food got digested in the stomach. After digestion, it has to travel in a small intestine 20 feet. This looks like about 20 feet. So it has to go in a tiny pipe from there to there. Agreed? Beyond that is colon. Colon is 3 inches by 5.5, 6 feet. कोलन जो 38 ट्रिलियन मेहमान are waiting, खाना आएगा, खाना आएगा. सारी रात होगी, खाना नहीं आया, आता होगा, ब्रेकफास्ट 10 बजे करते हैं, आता होगा. Okay, now what happens is whole food, porridge moves very, motility is high, moves rapidly. When you push it, moves. Apple, skin होती है, fiber होता है, moves easily. And मूंगफली also moves easily. लेकिन मैदा स्टिक कर जाती है. It takes longer for maida to move. Oil चिपक जाता है लाइनिंग के अंदर. It takes longer for oil to move. And apple juice, liquid is sitting around. It also takes longer to move. So I'm trying to make a point. So his food travels from here to there in 1 hour. It's gone. His food travels from here to there in 2 hours. Because you have to move. Point one, please understand. The travel time for whole food with fiber rich is less. Refined food is more. First conclusion. Second, in his case, the body takes time to suck the nutrients out. Apple में से sugar निकालनी है, fructose निकालना है. It takes effort. गेहूं में से starch निकालनी है. It takes effort. मूंगफली में से oil निकालना है. इनका तो आसानी से निकल आता है. So absorption is faster, absorption is slow. Agreed? So in his body, the 700 calories left the stomach. By the time they reached there, only 400 got absorbed. Point one. In his case, all 700 got absorbed. I picked the wrong example. I picked somebody else. All 700 got absorbed. So ये मोटे होते जाते हैं और ये पतले के पतले रहते हैं. और फिर अब दोस्तों ने कहा यार खाता तो मैं भी वही हूँ, गेहूं और मूंगफली और एप्पल तुम भी वही खाते हो. मेरे शरीर को लग जाता है, तेरे को नहीं लगता. They find reasons to say something. A lot of people say these things. मेरे को तो पानी भी लग जाता है. People, I heard ladies say that. अच्छा, anyway, so this is one point कि इनका वजन बढ़ता जा रहा है. ये ओबीज हो जाएंगे, ये वैसे के वैसे ही रहते हैं, 60 किलो. अच्छा, वहां जो मेहमान वेट कर रहे थे, तो जब इनका वहां पे पहुंचा तो 300 कौड़ी लगी थी. इन्होंने तो खाली 400 खाई. बड़े खुश होते हैं. हाँ, फूड आ गया, फूड आ गया. खाने जब इनके पहुंचा, अरे सारा खुद खा लिया, हमारे लिए छोड़े नहीं. कैलोरीज ही नहीं. मेहमान आर अनहैप्पी. अब एक दिन की बात हो तो बात दूसरी है. मान लो ब्रेकफास्ट पे शाम को ठीक खा लिया, शाम को मैदा की नान, तंदूरी नान, सब जगह जितना खाना ही खाते हैं सुबह दोपहर शाम, रिफाइंड होता है. तो ये जो बैक्टीरिया है ना आउटर म्यूकस लेयर में, डायग्राम में, they become unhappy. The outer mucus layer, they become very unhappy. Okay. So what they do, they start eating the mucus. Mucus is protein and water. Mucus is food. वो क्या करेंगे बेचारे, उनको खाना नहीं मिल रहा, देते नहीं, म्यूकस खाने लगते. म्यूकस खाने लगते हैं तो जो आउटर म्यूकस लेयर है खत्म हो जाता है. उसके बाद इनर म्यूकस लेयर भी खाने लगते. And the traveling food comes in contact with your epithelial layer, the tight junction layer, and it leaks. It's called leaky gut syndrome. Food leaks. Food is not supposed to leak. Food is supposed to be absorbed in a small intestine. When it gets absorbed in a small intestine, it's supposed to go to the liver. Liver converts fat into fatty acids, protein into amino acids. That's the job of liver. Your blood does not need any protein in it. Blood needs amino acids in it. Okay. Blood needs fatty acids. It makes its own fat. It's chain. They make amino acid. They make chain. Different chains make. Your body makes 2 million different amino proteins. 2 million different. Right now, your body is making 2 million different proteins. Okay. So what happens now? Let's see. He had dahi ki lassi for breakfast. Let us say. दही came from a cow. दही में गाय के दूध में थोड़ा सा गाय का थायराइड बेटा सेल्स होंगे, थोड़े से, बहुत कम, 1 in a trillion, let us say, or 1 in a billion, whatever. But that cell leaked into your blood. When your blood sees a beta protein from thyroid gland of a cow, it says, hey, this is not mine, this is attack. You've been attacked, let's build antibodies and kill it. Your body's immune system builds antibodies to kill it. Okay, now that same blood is going around your thyroid also. It looks at your thyroid, just like that enemy I just killed. Let's kill it also. It starts killing your thyroid. By the time you're 50, 55, doctor says your thyroid is weak, take levothyroxine. Autoimmune disease. Okay, let's take another example. In cow's milk, there will be some cow has a cartilage in her knee. There will be some cartilage protein in cow's milk, howsoever small. That cartilage protein goes in to your blood. The blood says, attack, attack. Your blood does antibodies to kill the cartilage protein. That blood is going around your cartilage also. It looks as just like an enemy. Let's kill it. Start killing it. By the time you're 70, 75, doctor says, आपको knee replacement करवाना पड़ेगा. A lot of people get knee replacement done. What the doctor say? You have osteoarthritis. So you ask him, what is osteoarthritis? It's a wear and tear. Now you sit and watch Pakistani play whole day on a TV. You have osteoarthritis. The farmer who works 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, he does not develop osteoarthritis. So we come up with these reasons when we don't know, we give it a reason. And we can't find an explanation. It's autoimmune disease. There are more than 80 autoimmune disease and that number is increasing every month. We are learning. We are learning that our problem is not deficiency of vitamin C or something. Our problem is we don't have a diverse colon microbiome. That's the problem. I can tell you that 100 years from now, our great-great-grandchildren will say, अरे हमारे परदादा इतने बेवकूफ थे दवाइयां खाया करते थे. There'll be no medicine, I'm telling you. There'll be no medicine. But once you follow what I'm saying, and we'll move on to 5 pillars of health, is that your diseases get cured. Blood pressure drops in 2 weeks. Diabetes goes away in 3 to 4 weeks. Cholesterol drops. Okay. So there are 5 things which are important for health. I have limited amount of time. So food is most important. Food is half of your problem. Okay. For food, all I'm saying is have plant-based food and whole food, not refined. Whole food. That's simple. Your body will know what to eat. You don't need to tell it. Okay. Second thing is detoxification. Okay, so 4 more important things. What is detoxification? I'm not talking about going to the toilet in the morning, brushing your teeth, or the things like that. That you all know. Your body has dead cells. Everybody's body has dead cells. Dead cells release toxic chemicals. When there is another cell in contact with dead cell, it gets that toxic chemical, and at contact point, it gets damaged. It's like when you buy a basket of strawberries. Okay, you buy them, Sunday you went shopping, you put them, and you forget because they were in a corner. On Friday, you remember कि अरे पिछले हफ्ते strawberry लाए थे, खाई नहीं क्या हुई? You take it out and you find एक strawberry को fungus लग गई. You take it out and throw it away. और जो 4 उसके कांटेक्ट में थी, उनको भी फंगस लग गया आधा. आप चाकू से आधी काट के फेंक देते, बाकी खा लेते. This is happening in your body every second. Every dead cell is releasing toxic chemical. And 4 other cells which are in contact with it are getting damaged. Point number 1, dead cells, damaged cells. Third, you have what we call misfolded protein. Okay, misfolded protein. This was supposed to be made, but this got made. I'll give an example. Let's say she's in the business of making men's shirts. In men's shirts, the card is on the left flap. The button is on the right flap. Let's say by mistake she ordered 1,000 shirts from China. By mistake they came this way. The button is on the left flap and the card is on the right. They're no good. They're misfolded shirts. She will say, काम के नहीं है उसमें क्लोजेट में डाल दो अगर कभी टाइम होगा तो देखेंगे गर्ल्स की शर्ट बना देंगे. She puts it. She doesn't throw it. The company in China says कि आप फेंक दीजिए पैसे नहीं दीजिए तो हटाइए नहीं unnecessary मेरे को फिर फेंक देना पड़ेगा. तो बेकार हो गई. She hides it. Our body has misfolded proteins. It's sitting there, not doing anything. Then our body has senescent cells. What is senescent cells? Senescent cells are those cells which are alive, but they can't reproduce anymore. They cannot have children anymore. So they don't do much for your body. So body needs to recycle these. That is detoxification. How to do it? Challenge. How to do it? Interestingly, when we do not eat food, when we fast after 21 hours, the body realizes खाने की कमी है, खाना नहीं आ रहा. ये जो मरे हुए सेल है इनको रिसाइकल कर. It is called autophagy. It got Nobel Prize in 2016 to Dr. Yoshinori. हमारा एकादशी उपवास, that is what it is. उन्होंने चोरी कर लिया, Nobel Prize ले लिया. Our culture teaches us that every 2 weeks, one day, do not eat. When you do not eat, you recycle. So you get rid of these dead cells and you make fresh cells. तो मान लीजिए आपकी बॉडी ने 50 ग्राम डेड सेल्स 40 घंटे में 36 घंटे में रिसाइकिल कर दिए और 50 ग्राम नए सेल बना दिए. तो आप यंग हो गए. एवरेज सेल एज विल कम डाउन. दैट इज कॉल्ड एंटी एजिंग. When you keep upvas, ekadashi upvas, every 2 weeks, you don't have to keep it on 11th day. Like we used to follow lunar calendar. You can say every alternate Monday, I will not eat. So Sunday dinner ke baad, Monday no breakfast, lunch, dinner. Tuesday wo breakfast kare. It's not difficult. Keeping upvas is not difficult. We find it difficult because we develop this habit of caffeine. चाय नहीं मिलती है 2-3 घंटे में सिर में दर्द होने लगे. You got to get change of that habit. Once you change that habit, when you fast, you feel more energetic. Your body changes your metabolic rate. This is the fellow food is not coming. Let me make him brighter, so that the mango he's not able to pick up from the top, he can reach out and pick it up. Your metabolic rate increases. You feel more energetic. You think better. Whenever Gandhiji did upvas, he thought of new schemes. Brain works better. We have all these misconceptions कि हाँ weakness हो जाएगी. Weakness नहीं होती. वो जो चाय की लत पड़ी है उसकी weakness है. अंग्रेज चले गए, चाय की लत छोड़ गए. So that is detoxification. Another thing, when we fast for 9 days, I'm talking Navratri is coming. Okay. In 9 days, you do not eat. You eat only one meal a day, which is low in protein. That meal has to be low in protein, so your body is autophagy for 9 days. And in that period, your body is killing cancer cells. Okay. It's very interesting. What happens is, our body primary function is to have children. When we die, we want to leave 2 children. For every 2 human beings, husband and wife leave 2 children. Every cell's function is to reproduce. Or to eat. For reproduction, survival is important. You survive by consuming food and reproduce. Okay. Now, food is not coming. The body says, Sex can be secondary. Let's not worry about sex. Let's not worry about reproduction. Let's survive. The body cells become hardened. Okay. Now, what happens if you are suffering from cancer? When you go chemotherapy, the chemotherapy kills cancer cells, kills your body cells also, isn't it? When you do radiation, radiation kills cancer cells and your body cells. But your body cells have become stronger, so they don't get killed. So your immune system becomes strong. Dr. Hauser got Nobel Prize for this in 2018. हम तो 3000 साल से रखते आए हैं नवरात्रि का उपवास. If you keep नवरात्रि का उपवास, कैंसर होगा ही नहीं आपको. The thing is that cancer has 3 stages. Cancer initiation, when your gene gets mutated due to radiation. When Nagasaki, Hiroshima happened, everybody got cancer. We are all exposed to 5G. It's there in the air. You can't avoid it. Even if your room is vacuum, it is there also. So in today's world, everybody in this room has cancer cells. Be rest assured. Your cancer cells are every day making some new cells. Your body's immune system is killing some cells, and you are in a state of balance, homeostasis. That's what it is. Now, if you start consuming dairy food, growth will increase, the killing remains the same. So there's all these multiple factors going on. New cancer cells being made and being killed. If they build up during Navratri, they're clean. I do a good fast on Navratri. I've been doing it for 3 years. The 4th one will start in 2 weeks. Last year, 8,300 people joined. 300 people cured their diabetes in 9 days. It's amazing how powerful this tool is. So that is the detoxification I'm talking about. This is very important. Okay. One thing I didn't talk here will come to circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is that we evolved to live 12 hours in daylight, 12 hours in nighttime. Our every cell, it was 2017 Nobel Prize, it showed us that every cell has a clock. If this is a cell and you have a nucleus, your nucleus in the night time makes a protein called period. And in short, they call it PERM. And during daytime, your rest of the cell, the cytoplasm, makes a protein called timeless. They call it TIM. All comes out from inside the nucleus, TIM neutralizes PERM, go back. Every day. Every cell in your body knows कि अब 10 बज के 20 मिनट हो गए मेरे को क्या करना है. It gets trained. In 3 weeks, it gets trained. You develop new habits in 3 weeks. Every cell gets trained. अभी जिम जाएगा, अभी टेनिस खेलने जाएगा, इसको शुगर चाहिए होगी. Let's release sugar. Fasting sugar is a wrong indicator. Fasting sugar can change from 80 to 130 on the same individual on the same day. Because the body knows कि ये तो सुबह जाके जिम जाता है, ये तो सुबह जाके खाली अखबार पढ़ता है, इसको जल्दी चाहिए होगी, इसको चाहिए होगी. It'll give you sugar. Your fasting sugar is least 8 hours after dinner. So at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock is the lowest level, 75, 80. Then it begins to rise, depending upon what your daily routine is. So fasting sugar is a misleading indicator. You can understand that. So these are the kind of how are we doing time-wise. These are the things. So there are 2 more. I'll talk about circadian rhythm. I'll wrap it up. Hope I'm not taking too much time. So what happens is your body, your eyes, we used to get up, we used to sleep outdoor. When eyes opened, the blue sky we saw. We have in our retina 5,000 melanopsin cells in both eyes. The melanopsin cell is blue light sensitive. When it gets blue light, it says the morning is broken. It gives signal. Behind your retina is hypothalamus. In hypothalamus, you have a pituitary gland, which is the master gland. Pituitary gland gives the signal, morning is broken, release cortisol. Your body releases cortisol. Cortisol is get up and go hormone. You want to do things, you can't sleep anymore. Unless you have a sleep deficit, you can't sleep anymore. You go to gym, go to tennis player, golf course, whatever you do. Whole day, cortisol level is high. Now when sun sets, cortisol level goes down. and it is a counteracting hormone called melatonin. Melatonin begins to rise. Melatonin has a different effect. Makes you calm down. Sleep. You calm down, slow down. Now, it used to work well till we developed electricity. Once we developed electricity, we eat late at night. We used to finish dinner. Our great grandmother would not feed us dinner at 8 o'clock. कोई अंधेरे में कोई थोड़ी बर्तन मांजेगा. सनसेट के बाद आधे घंटे में चौका बंद. चौका वहां होता था, रहने का घर यहाँ होता था. चौका बंद, अलविदा. अब खाना नहीं मिलेगा. सो बॉडी नोस कि ठीक है, अगर खाना आ रहा है तो इट्स मस्ट बी डे टाइम. That's how body is conditioned. Versus the blue light आ रही है, there must be daytime. अगर खाना आ रहा है, it must be daytime. Second, third, अगर ये आदमी चल फिर रहा है, घूम रहा है, वेट लिफ्टिंग कर रहा है, must be daytime. कोई रात को कोई एक्सरसाइज नहीं करता था. अब क्या हो गया है? So body at 7 o'clock, sun sets, it got dark, cortisol is coming down, melatonin is going up. Suddenly 9 बजे खाना आ गया पेट. अरे ये क्या हो गया? तो खाना खा रहा है. मैं तो समझा था कि रात हो गई है. मैं हो सकता है आज बादल ज्यादा घने हो कुछ. Melatonin goes down, cortisol goes up. And then he goes and works in the gym 10 o'clock. अरे ये तो वर्कआउट कर रहा है. Your body is confused. As a result, 70% people in the civilized world have sleep problems. 70% people. So people think कि जिनको नींद नहीं आती है उन्हीं को sleep problem है. That is one type of sleep problem. Second type of sleep problem is you don't get deep sleep. Deep sleep period. What happens in deep sleep? Many things happen, but two important things to do. One, your body puts short-term memory into long-term memory. When you have a laptop open, nighttime when you go to sleep, you may have 30 files open. You save them, save. They go into long-term memory. From your cache memory, you have a cache memory, file memory, hard disk memory. Your body puts memories of that day into long-term memory. One thing. So if you don't get deep sleep, that gets affected. Second, your body has a detoxification system. I didn't cover that, which we call lymphatic system. Our lymph nodes are collecting your waste every day, every second, okay? But your brain does not have that system. Brain cannot afford to quiet down. So only during deep sleep, your brain does what we call flushing. Very interesting. Your blood vessels are concentric. There's lymphatic fluid on the outer layer of blood vessels. It releases from this one and this one sucks it in. Like in toilet, when you flush it, fresh water comes, dirty water goes away. So the base you have is beta amyloid. Fine beta amyloid. It gets flushed and cleared. But when you don't have good deep sleep, it stays there. It accumulates. They join, they become bigger and bigger and bigger. They occupy the space where memory is supposed to be, and you become dementia, Alzheimer. Okay. So everything is intertwined. Just because you are getting up late, you have heavy drapes. So instead of getting up at 6:30, you're getting up at 7:30. Your clock is already 1 hour late. 1 hour late. In olden times, there used to be a grandfather clock. Everybody worked from that. Kids went to school 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock went to school. Husband went to office at 9 o'clock or open shop. Mother started cooking lunch at 12 o'clock because kids will be back at 1. Lunch should be ready. If that clock is half an hour late, kids will reach school late. 7:30, they'll be punished, asked to stand on the bench. Husband will go to his office half an hour late. The boss will be unhappy. आधा घंटा लेट आ रहा है. The mother will start their dinner, lunch late. बच्चे आ जाएंगे, मम्मी भूख लगी है और खाना नहीं होगा. The point is, when the clock is out of alignment, your whole activities in the day go haywire. The clock needs to be aligned. In the morning, a good practice is, but there are other practices. You should look at the blue sky when the sun's blue sky, so your eyes get the right signal. Now the morning is broken. We used to have a habit culture. People went to river. We used to bathe in river, and we offered to the sunrise flowers, to the rising sun. You don't look at the sun; you look at around the sun. The Upanishads dedicated to what we call sun gazing. If this is the sun, this is the horizon. When the sun is rising, you look around the sun. 3 times clockwise, 3 times anti-clockwise. A 30-degree angle, 45-degree angle, 60-degree angle. And then one extreme position. Do that 5 minutes every day. Sleep problems will go away. And of course, go to sleep at proper time. Another problem is you're watching TV. TV is releasing blue light. So 10 o'clock is the sleep time and 10 बजे तक आप टीवी देख रहे हैं. Blue light hit कर रही है. Blue light hit कर रही है, the body thinks that blue light आ रही है, must be daytime. Cortisol is high. Melatonin is low. When you switch the TV off, go to sleep, नींद नहीं आई. तो melatonin तो release ही नहीं हुआ. नींद कैसे आई? So you see that these things are interconnected. It's not just food. Physical activity. Physical activity, I won't take much time. You already know physical activity is important. So I say there, stay active. Walk 10,000 steps a day. Morning, night. When you go to sleep, to make sure how many are there. 10,000. 10,000 steps a day you need to walk. You can do 10,000 steps in a kitchen also. And sometimes we're having a party, my wife does 11, 12,000 steps. She doesn't even leave the house. Okay, going here, still cleaning, whatever. So do 10,000 steps a day. Stay active. Twice a day, increase your pulse level to about 85% of your capacity. Your capacity is 220 minus your age. That gives you your maximum capacity of pulse. And time 0.85. Try to bring it up to that level. Okay. The last I have here is emotional and spiritual health. We all know emotional health is very important. Emotions affect our body. You all know laughter is the best medicine. Because when you laugh, your office stresses go away. Surround yourself with grandkids. Have fun with them. Or pets, a dog or a cat or a parrot. Okay. If your kids are not home, your neighbor's kid. Unconditional love is also very important. Giving it is very important. Receiving is important, but giving it. Give unconditional love to your pets, to your grandkids. Very important. Unconditional love, not conditional love. Not like a mother says कि अरे इतना किया मैंने बेटे के लिए 3 साल पलंग गीले पलंग पे सोई शादी होते ही भाग गया. That is not. बुढ़ा सोचा था बुढ़ापे का सहारा बनेगा. अगर बुढ़ापे का सहारा के point of view से you were taking care of it, that was not unconditional. That was conditional love. Unconditional love does not want anything in return. When your dog is with you and he wags his tail, you slap him, hit him, he will look up to you and wag his tail. That is unconditional love. You need to give unconditional love. Giving is helpful for your health. Okay, watch some funny movies. Husband and wife get together, watch some funny movie, some funny thing, laugh about it. Spiritual health, very important. Okay. The sense of gratitude is very important. It releases certain hormones in your body which improve your health. The gratitude. So you pray is very important. Who you pray to is irrelevant, doesn't matter. Krishna or Rama or Khuda or Vaheguru or whatever, doesn't matter. But you must have gratitude for that. हम लोगों के हिंदू में होता है, there are 24,000 each there. Or 48,000. Pick your one favorite one. Some people like child Krishna, some like Gita Wala Krishna, mature Krishna. But tears must roll down your eye when you're praying. That sense of gratitude could be for your great grand uncle who taught you something, could be for your cricket coach that you had a lot of respect. Doesn't matter who brings that sense of gratitude. 10 minutes every morning. Meditate. Very good. So with that, I will say thank you. This is what I teach. We will create a group. I will give you, in fact, I have already given you. We will share the group with you. You can join. If you join, we start a group from 1st of October. So 1st of October to November 30th, those 60 days, you will get 2-3 posts from me and some linked videos to watch. And I'm telling you, if you are taking any medication for lifestyle diseases, Not for congenital diseases, not for any viral issues. No, I'm not talking that. Only lifestyle diseases. The lifestyle diseases are due to poor diet and lifestyle. Just change them. Other problems are different. Okay. They will go away. Need will go away. All right. Thank you so much.
One of the questions.
Sure, yeah. Pradeep.
So we have four questions.
Sir, I am sorry. I am. I don't agree with your osteoarthritis part. So the osteoarthritis is not a autoimmune disorder. It is basically a mechanical arthritis. And you have given a nice example why the farmer doesn't have the osteoarthritis. It's basically the muscle strain which is working in farmer. Our is here sedentary and our muscle is not active that much. So we need a very well-built hamstring as well as the quads. These are the two muscles which are very strong to prevent osteoarthritis.
I will not engage in the technical discussion. Yeah, yeah. I will not engage in technical
Sir,
discussion. I'm trying to
I have a
point in
question.
hour. And yes.
Sir, sir, I'm from Haryana. So, when I had been around 26 years old, so at that time, I would have around 20 to 25 chapatis, okay, and milk and all that. But one fine day, I heard Dalai Lama ji, he takes one chapati a day, okay, and it's quite healthy and very active. I started doing experiment, and per day I hardly take 2 or 3 chapati, okay. So और किसी ने बोला कि संजय कम खाने वाले ज्यादा खाने वाले मरते हैं, कम खाने वाले नहीं मरते, ठीक है. उसके बाद one fine person also told me कि 3 things are important: good food, good exercise, good sleep. I just want to know कि कितना मतलब how much is enough, because as मतलब there is so much varieties, though so much confusion, misconfusion, fruit diet, that diet, vegan, non-veg, all this. How much and how much is enough sleep and food for person like us?
There's so much information in the media. How much to eat and what to eat.
There are a lot of, that's why I said the information in the media is put in with vested interest. There's a lot of misinformation in the media because the media would like you to believe many things are healthy which are not. Human body knows how much to eat. Okay? In the wilderness, nobody tells a deer कि नहीं इससे ज़्यादा नहीं खाना है. It's a mistake. We know our body has a satiation mechanism. If you are eating food which is healthy food, not the food, not Pringle chip. If you're eating Pringle chip, your body has lost control. That PhD in psychology has designed something to fool you. But if you're eating bhindi or bagan or aloo or any whole food, dal, your body will tell you you have had enough. Don't listen to somebody else. These questions happen all the time. Somebody comes and says, मैंने सुना है कि तरबूज और नींबू साथ में 2 फल साथ में नहीं खाने चाहिए. My point is कि अगर आपको अच्छे लगते हैं और आपको कोई हार्म नहीं होता तो आप खाओ. इनका एपिजेनोम इज वेरी डिफरेंट. इनको नहीं सूट करते. अब इनको ये सूट नहीं करते, ये मतलब थोड़ी कि सबसे कैपी पड़ेंगे. फ्रेंड्स नहीं खाना, मैंने खाया तो उल्टी हो गई. अरे तुम्हें उल्टी हुई थी, इनको तो नहीं हुई. You see, you decide. Your body knows when to eat and how much to eat. Now, when to eat should be in the daytime. I told you circadian rhythm. And there's something called intermittent fasting. I did not cover that. That you eat within 8-10 hours. Because that's how we ate when we got up in the morning at 7 o'clock. We did not have a pantry. We went looking for food, came back by 9-10 o'clock, and then cooked the meal. And everybody had a supper. So 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 when you had your first bite, and your last bite before the sun set. So it gives you about 8-10 hours to eat. Jain people call it Chauvihar. Okay, Chauvihar means 48 minutes after sunrise, you take your first bite, and 48 minutes before sunset, you take your last bite. That gives you 10-hour, 24-minute eating window. That is part of circadian rhythm. I didn't cover that. So eat whatever you feel like, as long as your house has no unhealthy food. Condition number one. There's no unhealthy food around. All food is plant-based and whole food. Now, during that daytime, eat whatever you feel like, as much as you feel like. Doesn't matter. Okay. Your body knows. We don't give enough credit to our body. And we go and ask a dietitian and everything, and she gives what she has read. She assumes that all human beings are identical. We just proved 15 years ago that is wrong science. Science is going to change. You'll be surprised. New paradigms are coming. Same deficiency in the 30, 40 people in this room will not lead to same symptoms. If there is a D3 deficiency, her symptom will be different, his will be different, his will be different. Okay. And the corollary to that is also correct, which is if you all have one symptom, migraine headache, your cause will not be same. Her migraine headache would be due to one reason, his would be due to another reason, then the reason. So this whole science that we have been practicing, that you go to the doctor, you tell him, I have this, and he looks at it and says, take this. It's going to fail, it's going to fail. Some succeed, some don't succeed. You hear it all the time. Ladies talking, अच्छा आपको भी हाँ मैं भी उसी डॉक्टर के पास गई थी अच्छा आपका ठीक हो गया नहीं मेरा नहीं ठीक हुआ because we are different. The whole assumption that we are all same is wrong. It's not doctor's fault. I mean, we are different. We're learning this new science. That's what I'm trying to say. Only 15 years ago, Time Cover magazine, they're saying, you read that article, it's very important, by the way. I want you to go to that issue and read. It talks about how important it is for mothers to be to have their diet properly. Because their diet is going to affect the child. And the child is going to have children. It's going to affect the whole generation. It's very responsible to take care of pregnant mother. Okay, very important that their diet. But then you have to know first. You have to correct your information. To correct information, it's available. It's not that I spent 6,000 hours because I had nothing else to do. I was lucky I sold my company and I used to watch the news the whole day or stock market go up, down, go up, down. When I healed myself, I watched a documentary. Please note it down. Forks over knives. That documentary changed my life. Forks over knives. It's a documentary, 1.5 hours. It's available on YouTube. Forks over knives. What it means is, instead of using a knife, which is used to cut your rib cage and have a bypass surgery, if you use your fork properly, you will never need the knife. That's what Bill Clinton did finally. In the first time, knife. Second time, Dr. B.M. Hegde, our own doctor. Okay. Padam Vibhushan, he says this. He's my teacher. I've got 12 teachers. Okay, he's one of them. You read him. He says this whole concept of putting stents is no good. Doesn't do you any good. The whole concept of collateral bypass, he talks about that. You change the diet, will change it. Two scientists showed it in America in 1980s. One was Dr. Dean Ornish in San Francisco, and one was Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. There are certain blood vessels in our body, we call them widowmaker, where you cannot do the bypass. It's not possible. But when you eat properly, they heal, they open up. 6 months, clearly open. So it's all the information is there. It's there. It's just that I'm only one medium to bring it to you. When I learned about it, I said, this is too important an information not to take it to people. That's all. And you will get a chance to read it.
Sir,
फास्टिंग के लिए आपने बोला सर 9 डे फास्टिंग 7 डे फास्टिंग फास्टिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है बेसिकली इंडिया में डिफरेंट
Fasting concept means nothing but water. In India, they have messed it up. What has happened is our ancestors knew the benefits of fasting 2,000 years ago. They knew. At that time, they said if we tell them to people it's good for your health, they will not listen. If we tie it to religion, they will listen. 2,000 years धीरे धीरे बढ़ता गया. I tell you, I did some research 3 years ago for Navratri fasting. I watched a YouTube video by a lady in Bombay. And she said, I'll tell you what to make for Navratri fast. For your bed tea, make this. For your breakfast, make this. For your lunch, make this. For your evening tea, make this. And for your dinner, make this. 5 things she said to eat. And then she said in the end, and in case you feel hungry in between these, make this. They have made a joke of it. Fasting means nothing but water. Absolutely nothing. No tea, no coffee.
Sir, you have talked about the Okinawan diet and Okinawan people who are leading healthy and long lives. But that diet contains seafood as well as meat in it, as well as same Mediterranean diet. The people of Greece, they also have very long disease-free lives, and that also consists of seafood to a great extent. So how do we reconcile these?
People, he's saying that there are Indian diet, people are taking the rest of the, living long.
Okay, so this question,
Yeah.
So thing to understand is I'll answer your question in a certain different way. And it happens often. People come to me and say, हमारे नाना जी तो 2 कटोरी घी जो खाते थे 81 साल जिए. समझते ना ना वो तो आधा लीटर दूध पीते थे सुबह और शाम को और वो तो 83 years जिए. कम एक एक्टर थे हॉलीवुड में जॉर्ज बर्न्स कॉमेडियन. He made a movie well known, Oh God, in which he becomes God. He's a comedian. He smoked a cigar every day. One cigar. And he lived to be 100. Now the question is, what inference you want to draw from it? He may say, हाँ एक सिगार पिया था तो मेरे को भी सिगार शुरू कर देना चाहिए. और he may say, अगर सिगार नहीं पीते तो शायद 110 साल जीते. It's a perception. So people say कि घी खाया 2 कटोरी और 81 जिए, तो मैं भी 2 कटोरी घी खाऊंगी. नहीं, अगर घी नहीं खाया होता तो शायद 91 साल जिए होते. That's another way to look at it. That is what is happening. The food, Mediterranean food, people say, देखो olive oil है इसलिए healthy है. नहीं, Mediterranean food is not good because of olive oil. It is good in spite of olive oil. A lot of this goes on. See, we tell people कि देखो olive oil is healthier than ghee. It is healthier than ghee. क्या कर रहे हो? 100 लोगों को घी खिलाया, 100 लोगों को ऑलिव ऑयल, ये ज्यादा जिए. अच्छा, उन्होंने ये नहीं किया कि 100 को ऑलिव ऑयल और 100 को ऑलिव. अगर 100 को ऑलिव खिलाते, ऑलिव ऑयल की वो ज्यादा जीते. वो रिसर्च कोई नहीं करता. कौन पैसा खर्च करेगा? जो ये भिंडी, अगर हम ये कहें कि भिंडी के बीज से आपको फायदा हो जाएगा, कोई लॉबी नहीं है जो भिंडी के बीज के ऊपर रिसर्च करेगी. उन बेचारों के किसानों के पास पैसे नहीं है. नहीं, मैंने नहीं कहा. No, I didn't say that. I said no.
He's saying it's commonly it's.
Wait a minute, misconception. हाँ, घी खाना लाड खाने के मुकाबले में अच्छा है माना. ओके, तो आप लाड नहीं खाते, घी खा रहे हो. लेकिन जो घी नहीं खाता है वो तो ज्यादा अच्छा है ना. इसलिए आपको कहते हैं कि रेड वाइन अच्छी है. रेड वाइन अच्छी, मतलब ये नहीं कि तो मेरे को लेडी मिलती है. एक लेडी ने मेरे को कहा कि मैंने अखबार में पढ़ा था कि रेड वाइन अच्छी है, मैंने रेड वाइन शुरू कर दी पीना. अच्छी नहीं लगती, मैं नाक बंद करके ना ऐसे पी लेती हूँ. रेड वाइन अच्छी है कंपेयर टू स्कॉच, कंपेयर टू व्हाइट वाइन, नॉट कंपेयर टू समबडी हु ड्रिंक्स वाटर. देयर इज नथिंग बेटर देन वाटर. ओके, कोकोनट वाटर एंड वाटर, बेस्ट थिंग्स टू ड्रिंक. Nothing else good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's just much.
Thank you very much, sir. It has been a very illuminating and all of us are now eagerly waiting for October the 1st when we'll be able to join your group, sir. Thank you
This
very much, sir.
meeting is
Very
being
good.
recorded and summarized.
So I'll share with you. So don't worry on that part. I have already gone through those 60 days. So I'll share with you, and the maximum number of people can join up to 900. It can go. So we are
Yeah.
doing
How's it?
it's
So
small.
there's a small memento which
Oh.
sir will present on our behalf.
Thank you.
नहीं मैं इसको रिकॉर्ड
Thank you.
I would also like to thank Shikha.
Thank you so much.
Uh,
In fact, I didn't tell my story.
Yeah.
When I